Namaste, friends. I'm Jill Ganeshan, Frankfurt librarian and yoga teacher. Excited to share a special practice with you today to recognize Earth Day. Now, traditionally in yoga culture, the goal of yoga is yoga, meaning a harmonious union with all that is. That said, today we'll practice a little alchemy by shape-shifting into some elements and animals. So we'll start with some alchemy of yin yoga. That's the 5 elements as defined by some traditions in the style of Master Yin Yogi Polly Zink. Then we'll move into some animal shapes. So first, coming into earth, you're spreading your knees out and flexing the feet, and then just leaning forward, placing your hands down to the earth and feeling the gravity, feeling grounded, honoring Pachamama or Mother Earth. And the thought is, the elements give birth to one another. So from earth, we're going to move into metal. So quickly drawing the soles of the feet together so you're like metal, like the bottom of a coat hanger. You can lean into the metal or leaning into the wind, and the metal is still firm and steady and contracted, even against a 100-mile-per-hour wind. And then from metal, we're going to transition or give birth to water. The body's made up of some 2/3, 80% water, depending on what organ. So just go ahead and allow the fluidity, raising the feet and the hands. So water can also be metal when it's ice, like when the ice pierced through the Titanic. And from water, we're giving birth into wood. So springing your legs together, hugging the knees. We're expansive and springy like wood. And then wood give birth to fire. So raising the legs once again, and the hands up the air, very light, like fire. And then we're going to transition into the animal postures. Now the yogis and the cave shamans study the animals, study the elements. It's what we're all made of. The animals, including us, the insects, and plants, which by the way outnumber us. So we're getting onto our all fours into a neutral tabletop position. We're going to transition into cat and cow. The hands are beneath the shoulders. The knees are below the hips. It's inhale and then exhale, arching the spine, so cat-like in your spine. Inhaling, sending the sit bones and chest up, look up into cow. Exhale, cat-like in your spine. And whoever has loved the cat. And from cat, inhaling back up into cow. And did you know that cows enjoy soothing music? Back into cat one more time. And then into cow. They're very sensitive and perspective animals. And then from here, curling the toes under, sending the sit bones back so you're into downward facing dog and upside down V. And it's said in some Native American traditions or wisdom that there's a good dog and bad dog in everyone's heart. So the one that wins is the one that you feed. So from downward facing dog, the feet are hip widths apart. You're going to come back down to your knees, forearms to the floor. We're going to shape shift into dolphin, clasping the hands, sending the sit bones back up. Your knees may be bent or straight, letting the head not hang but stay straight with the spine. And then from dolphin, bringing those knees to the earth. Then your belly all the way to the floor. You can keep we'll put your hands underneath your shoulder and then lift up just so into a baby cobra. And what first tastes like poison will eventually taste like nectar, as said in the Bhagavad Gita. So the idea is the discipline can lead to freedom. And then go ahead and place both forearms onto the ground so your elbows are underneath your shoulders, lifting up. We're now shape-shifting into a composite figure, Sphinx. So Sphinx has a human head and a lion for a body. So while we're here, we might as well do a cleansing breath, a lion's breath, where you're sticking the tongue out and it goes underneath your chin and your eyes look up, and then it's an HA high. So, and then from Sphinx, we'll transition into Rabbit. So coming back onto your sit bones, onto your heels, we're going to place our forehead close to the knees, and the top of the head goes to the floor. And we're going to grab the ankles. So go ahead and lift the sit bones up. So this is a nice counter move. And a rabbit represents new life and fertility. It's perfect for spring. And then go ahead and come back down. And then from rabbit, we're going to shape shift into a camel variation. So we'll do half camel. So coming up onto your knees. And rather than keeping your feet on the ground, we're going to go ahead and flex the toes. Lift your right hand to the sky. And then rotate the torso. So we'll get a twist and a side bend as you're raising that left hand to the sky. And your right hand grabs the right ankle. And then bring that arm down. We'll do the other side. And then coming down from camel, we'll be back on our fours. You're going to draw your right knee to your right wrist and keep your right thigh parallel to the mat. And then inch your right foot toward your left wrist and slide that left leg back. So we're in some circles, or the yin tradition, they call this swan. It's also called pigeon. The more classical tradition, Indian tradition, you could come down into sleeping swan or sleeping pigeon. And we'll switch sides. So send that right leg back and bring your left leg, your left knee to your left wrist, inching that left foot toward your right wrist. The left leg, left thigh stays parallel. Sending the right leg back, coming down into your sleeping pigeon. And then from sleeping pigeon, we're going to shape shift into dragon. So go ahead and create that 90 degree with your right foot and knee. Stretching that left hip flexor. You can stay like this in your dragon, what it's called in yin. Or you can bring your hands to the earth. You can even lift that knee. And we'll shape shift from dragon into lizard, so bringing your forearms to the mat, inching your right foot out toward the edge of the mat. You can stay like this in lizard, or you can lift that left knee. So opening the hips, flexors, even more. Send that knee back to the earth. We're switching sides. So dragon with the left foot, 90 degree angle. Hands can be at the knee or hands to the earth. Transitioning into our lizard, so forearms come to the mat. Inch your left foot out to the edge of the mat. Go ahead and lift that right knee. Okay. And then from lizard, we're going to attempt crow. So this will be our balancing posture for the day. So squatting down, toes are pointing outward. You're tucking the tailbone under. Placing your hands out in front of you, your gaze is to the mat. We'll see if it's here today. Sometimes it's not there. So we're going to lean our torso over and squeeze the knees outside of the armpits like glue. And then you'll slowly lift the toes. So here it goes. And what seems impossible becomes possible. We need both eyes and wings. Your knees are like the wings of the crow. And then coming back down to earth, we're going to lie down on our backs and go into eagle. Now, eagle is traditionally standing up and is a balancing posture, but we need to create that fever in the core today. So wrapping that right leg over your left, giving yourself a hug. The left arm slides underneath the right. You're coming into eagle arms, palms are facing, engaging those delts, trapezius and rhomboids. And then we're bringing the torso up. Knees and elbows come together. That's 1, 2, 3. Switching sides like water again. Wrapping the left leg around the right. This time the right arm goes underneath the left. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then releasing briefly into a star, inhaling deeply, filling the belly, the chest, and the heart area. Exhaling, navel into spine, emptying the belly. And then bending at the knees, grabbing underneath the knees to lift yourself up. We'll come to the front and back into that sort of wood position, but this time you're a seed. So go ahead and just tuck your head. And actually, rather than a seed, how about a chrysalis? So in the words of Native American Chief Seattle, humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect. Yoga is that harmonious relationship. So letting the knees fall to the side, drawing the soles of the feet together. Close your eyes and just let your legs flutter like a butterfly. So emerging from the chrysalis, experiencing the metamorphosis as the butterfly lives off a diet of pure nectar. And then coming into your easy seat, touching the thumb and index fingers together, facing the palms away from your knees and letting the other 3 fingers touch the earth. This is the earth as witness mudra. Close your eyes and surrendering all negativity down to Mother Earth. Bringing the hands back to palm center. We are the earth. We are the consciousness of the earth. These are the eyes of the earth, and this is the voice of the earth, in the words of Joseph Campbell. Open your eyes. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be free and happy, and may my words, actions, and thoughts contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Thank you, fellow yogi shamans, for shape-shifting with me today, and happy Earth Day. Bye-bye.